Hey, today's Deathy and welcome to another episode of my solo D&D actual play series, Tales of Fool's Gold. In this episode, we meet our second Pathfinder. Which part of the area will they uncover? And will their adventure be hexed and full of misfortune? Only one way to find out. Enjoy. At the time when the party is going to take care of the monster lair, tales, rumours and stories of Galdrin were spreading across the world about this new region. And through this, multiple adventurers start making their way towards the region to find fame and fortune, such as this person. So now we're going to create our second Pathfinder. Okay, so we're going to take the usual rules. I'm not going to do this every single time I create a character, but it's just to remind you. What we're going to do is we're going to randomize our race 5 times, and then on the 5th one, that's the race we're using, and then for the Pathfinder, we're going to roll stats. We're not going to give them a class because they are not a combat unit, they're an exploration unit, so giving them the quote-unquote Pathfinder class is the default way of doing things. So let's see what we have. So we're going to go 1, 2, 3, 4, and 5. Hexblood. Okay, interesting. So, Hexblood, ability score, so we can do a +2 +1, or we can do a +1 across 3, 30 feet, Fey, medium or small. Ancestral legacy, we can replace a race with its lineage, you can keep following the case, so that's out. If you keep any of those elements, or you choose this lineage at classification, we have proficiency in 2 skills of our choice. We're not doing proficiencies. Dark vision, yep, you can take dark vision, 60 feet I believe. Eerie token, okay, so I'm just thinking about this one. Because what I'm doing is with the Pathfinders is I'm taking their racial traits and I'm trying to do like a homebrew transcribe to the rule set for the Pathfinders. So eerie token, you can move, okay, you can finish place actions, telepathic message. So a creature holding and carrying the token, okay, we're going to scratch that way. If in 10 miles of the token you get into trance in action, trance lasts 1 minute and it's early if you dismiss it. Generally see and hear from the token as your case where it is. Okay. I think what we're going to do. I think I'll follow the racial traits. We're going to do this. We'll take remote viewing. And I'm thinking, as bonus action, because we can only finish it for a long rest. We'll do this maybe once a dice. One ability per dice. Now it's going to be level 1, so we've only got 1 dice to work with, so we can use it once. And I'm going to say that we'll take the remote viewing, but from where she is, she can use her token, give it to a random creature, and then what we can do is we can do a extra point of interest check. Either do it with advantage, or we could do a second roll of it. Yeah, we could try that. And Hex Magic, yep, that's the part because they're not spellcasters either. Alright, so we got Hexblood. Okay then, now it's time to roll stats. So again, we're going to roll 5 times, and then we're going to randomize once, or randomize 5 times, and that's what's going to give us our stats. So let's roll 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. Okay, so we got 17, 15, 15, 14, 12, and 11. So let's randomize them 5 times again. So 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. 17 strength, 15 dex, 11 constitution, 14 intelligence, 12 wisdom, and 15 charisma. That's really good, that. Do you know what? I'm not going to lie, that screams paladin to me, that. That's pretty cool. Right, before we do anything, let's roll a d2 to determine what ability scores we're going to use. 1. Okay. Oops, sorry, I forgot to bring it up. Yep, there we go. So we've got 1. So that means we're using the +2 +1. So now we're going to do a d6. So we add our +2 to charisma, bumping up to 17 for a +3. And then we're going to use another d5, 1, giving our +1 to our strength, making it 80 for a +4. Holy crap, this is really good character stats. Yeah, to me this screams paladin. Paladin would be amazing with this build. Okay then, right, well, I'll create the I'll create the character, get an image, token, and a character sheet, and I'll see you in a few. Right, okay, we have our second Pathfinder. We do. We have a second Pathfinder. We have Batty Pam Mia Trampler. But to be honest, I'm just going to call her Batty Pam. This makes a bit of sense. Okay, so Batty Pam, what is her origin story? Why is she here in the region? Well, I had a little bit of think, and I'll tell you what exactly that she is. Unlike our first Pathfinder, who was looking at being a Pathfinder for a business, Batty here is being a Pathfinder out of personal reason. As she's a Hexblood, or a hag, she's on this region in order to try and come up, or start, her own coven of hags and witches, which I think is the appropriate thing to do for her reason for being here. So just as a reminder of how this works. Alright, so the Pathfinder starts with D6. Now, the D6 is represented or tied to what level the Pathfinder is. So at level 1, she starts with a 1d6. Now this is going to represent the number of days that the Pathfinder can stay in the field for. If this 6 turns to 0, then the Pathfinder is mentally done, they're broken, they're feral, in a way that's them exhausted and died. So basically there are two ways that we can keep this from happening. Number 1, they have to leave on the exact same or near enough the same tile that they entered the map from. Or 2, they have to find a settlement where they can go into where this will go back up to 6. Now there is other hindrances as well. So for example, we've got a water index and a food index. The water and the food index, as you can see, it dictates this. This is how many movement points that they can move per turn. So for example, because we're at food, max water and max food, they can move to 6. They get past a life level, this could be for any side, whatever, goes down 1, so a 5 movement, then 4 movement, then 3, 2, 1 and 0, and then that's gone. And then come down to the search scenario. Now again, we're not doing this is just, we're looking at these mainly. So we roll a d6 upon every turn. If we roll a 1 or 2, we have to move straight line, no change or anything like that, as far as we could possibly move. We roll a 3, 4 and 5, we can start in any direction, and we can move 1 hex only. Sorry, move 1 direction, that's it. After moving 1 or more hexes, you make 1 directional change as desirable. And if we roll a 6, we can start in any direction. After moving to 1 or more hexes, we can make as many directional changes as we wish. So yeah, we want to get a 6 primarily. That's what we want. Okay, so yeah, so basically I'm not going to go over the rules again. If you want to know the rules of the Pathfinder, go check out episode 2. I go in it more in depth. But basically, the way this goes is we go movement phase, then we go into the counter phase where we roll a d20 to determine, what is it, d6? Yeah, sorry, we roll a d6, and the 5 or 6 is the counter. We'll go over the encounter if it happens, and then we do a points of interest search, which is going to be a d20 roll. And if the d20 works, then we roll a d6. 1 to 2 is a settlement, I think is. Yep. 1 and 2 is a settlement. 3 and 4 is a hunting grounds, which is another way to get our food up. And a 5 or 6 is a dungeon, not a monster or a dungeon. So, now to start things off with, we need to decide what side of the map she's coming on from. So, the last Pathfinder started here, and then, you know, uncovered this. I think we'll do a d4, 1, 2, 3, 4, and then we can split the quadrant up, and then we'll roll another numbers to determine which side she comes on for. So let's head over to 5e tools for the 5e tools for the roll, and then let's do a d4. So okay, so she's starting in the westmost side. Okay, so she's starting west. Okay, so we'll call this 1, we'll call this 2, d2, right? 1. Okay, so she's starting in the northwest. Okay, so is she starting in the west here or the north here? Let's roll another 2. 2. Okay, so she's starting up here. Okay then, right, let's see. I'm going to say that she's going to start... Don't know where the word dragon came from. No. We're going to start, I think, in my opinion, right here. So I'm going to say she's going to start right here. So, before we do anything, we need to uncover what kind of tiles or what kind of terrain this is. So what we need to do is we need to go over to the PDF. Yep, and then we want to go to the first one. And then we have a bunch of terrains. So we have Arctic, coastal, desert, forest and jungle, grassland, hills, and mountains. And swamps. So that's the lot. So I think it's a D8, right? 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8. Okay. Also as well, the mined features, as you can see here, the continual Arctic terrain, ice hills, blah 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 blah. These are going to be for the parties. Because with the parties, we can actually get like another monster layer they can find, an unmarked settlement, small woods, blah blah blah. But basically, the Pathfinders is finding the terrain, not the little itty bitty things. Alright, so let's go back to here. Let's get D8 and let's see what kind of terrain we have. 1. Okay, so we've got Arctic terrain. Nice. Okay, so now, going back to Paint 3D. Now here comes the good thing. We need to determine how many of these tiles in a X radius is going to be Arctic. So for this, I think last time, if I'm not mistaken, let me look. So we started here. 1, 2, 3, 4. Okay, I think I've rolled a D8, I think. Was it D8? Yeah, I think we roll a D8, and then any tiles in that radius will be that terrain. So let's have a look. So roll D8. 3. Okay, so in a 3-mile radius will be Arctic terrain. So I will fill this in with the appropriate terrain, and I'll see in a second. Right, okay, so I've filled the Arctic terrain in. If you want to know where I get these hex tiles from, there should be a link in the description where you can download a zip folder, I think, and basically they'll have these different kind of terrains in. It's very nice. Okay then, right, so we're going to make our first roll now. So, of course as well, if we get into one of these, then I will fill in the correct terrain when I come around to it. Right, so first of all, we're going to roll a d6. So this is going to determine what our movement is going to be like. So we roll a 3. And then going to the PDF. Oh, no. Don't need to go to the PDF. I'm an idiot. Don't need to go to the PDF. No, so a 3, if we go all the way down to here. It's not in any direction, and we can move 1 directional change. So I think... So we need to get back to this location, right? So obviously the trick for low-level Pathfinders is not to stray too far from the insertion point. So I'm going to say that we're going to go 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. Then we'll come down to the water's edge. See if we can maybe find a salmon or something. Okay, so before we get to the anything else, now we need to roll an encounter check. I think for that I do need to go back to the PDF if I'm not mistaken. Yep, I need to go back to the PDF. Okay then, right, so we're in the optional rules of the outdoor survival. Wilderness encounter aspect is adopted as step 6. At the end of your normal move, each turn, roll the dice. Once determined, you must play the wilderness encounter chart. If you roll a 1, 2, 3, or 4, your turn is ended, and your opponent should proceed immediately to step 3. If you roll a 5 or 6, we can get a wilderness encounter, but of course in D&D, basically a 5 or 6 means that we could potentially run into a monster. So, let's get the PDF back up. Sorry, let's get PVD back up. So let's roll a D6. Do we have an encounter? 4. No. Okay, so we don't get an encounter. So now we need to roll. Do we find water? And I believe we go to here. Here we go. On a 1 or a 2, We find some water. Okay. So 1 out of 2. Do we find water? 6. We don't. Okay, no problem. So this means that our water goes down by 1. Our food goes down by 1 because that's the end of the turn. We're still at 6. We haven't gone down a life level yet. And this gets turned into 5. Okay, perfect. Okay, now, next turn. Now we need to determine what terrain this is now. So let me do another D8 to determine what it is. 3. Okay, so we've got 1, 2, 3. So this is desert. Okay, before I do, I forgot I need to roll that D8 to determine how many tiles is desert. 1. Okay, so it's just a 1 tile radius. Okay, interesting. Because we moved, technically, to be honest with you, I should have moved here actually. Let's just stopped here and then rolled and then carried on. But if it's a 1 tile radius, I think what I'm going to do is, so it's 1 tile radius from this part, so I'm going to fill these in with desert, and then because we stopped here, I'm going to roll another terrain and then fill in the rest here. So I'll tell you what, let's do that now. Let's do that now whilst on my mind. So let's roll another D8. 2. So switching over to the PDF. 2 is coastal, and then we need to roll a D8 to determine how many tiles. 4 tile radius from where we are currently. So 4 tile radius is coastal. Okay, right, I'll do that and I'll be with you in a sec. Okay, so we've got the 2 tiles, and before we start the next turn, I've got to do my POI check, my points of interest. So we need to roll a D20. Is there a point of interest in the area? 11, there is. Okay then, so with points of interest, we're going to roll a D6. 1 to 2 is a settlement, 3 to 4 is a hunting ground, and 5 to 6 is a dungeon. But we're going to take our wisdom modifier, and basically this is going to be in the area where our Pathfinder is. So in any one of these 3 spots. So let's roll a D6. So remember, 1 to 2 is settlement, 3 to 4 is hunting ground, and 5 to 6 is dungeon. 4. Okay, so we've got hunting ground. Nice. So now we need to roll a D3, a D4 to determine which square or which hex this hunting ground is in. So let's roll D4. 4. Perfect. So it's going to be right here then. Okay, so basically the hunting grounds means that a Pathfinder can go onto the hunting ground and they can, I think they get automatically moved up to the next available life level up. So for example, if our food was down here, I believe we can go straight up here. I'm not entirely too sure, I'm going to have to rethink on that, but yeah. But basically, if a party goes onto there, they can replenish, I think they can replenish rations equal to, I think maybe just maybe just a survival check actually. Yeah, I'll think about it, because TSAT's got like different difficulty checks, difficulty classes. Yeah, difficulty classes based on certain elements, so I'll just have a look through TSAT to determine, but we'll do that one bit at a time. Okay, so we're on day 2 of this expedition now, and already we've recovered 3 different types of terrain. Very nice. Right, so we're going to roll a d6, and let's do our movement phase. 1. So we need to move. In a straight line. Okay. So we're still moving 6, I believe. Yep, still moving 6. So we need to move a straight line. So we can go 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6 up to here, and then maybe come down to the west and cover more here. Or we can go 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6 to here. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. Do a new terrain here and a 6. Because I don't want to go too far. I mean, so far we've found a hunting ground. That's about it. Okay, what's Batty gonna do? Let's roll a d20. Tell you what, let's roll a d6. 1 to 3 she goes left. 4 to 6 she goes right. 5. Okay, so she's going right. I get him, no worries then. Okay, so we moved to full 6. So we're gonna go. Should I go? Can I not pick Batty, please? Do a little bit more of that. There we go. Realign it. There we go. Should be moving now. Perfect. Okay, so 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. And then I'm going to roll a new terrain. So let's get the PDF up. Let's go D8. 5. Okay, 5. If I can get the PDF up. Is 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. Grassland. Okay, nice. So I'm gonna roll. Let's roll a d8 to determine how many tile radius is grassland. 3. Okay, so 3 tiles is grassland. Okay, so I've moved to full 6. We're here, and I filled in the grassland. Now we need to do a counter roll. Do we have an encounter? 2. We don't. Okay, perfect. Now we do a points of interest. So yes or no, basically. Yes, we do. We do have a POI. Nice, with points of interest. Okay, what do we have? We have another hunting ground. Nice. Yeah, we got another hunting ground. Okay, so it's going to be. Okay, so it's going to be in a D6 radius. So 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. So let's see where it is. 2. So it's 1, 2, so it's here. Wow. Okay, we got hunting ground. Now, the question is, do we find water? So on a 1 or 2, we get water. No, we don't get water. Okay, no problemo. So we lower this down, we lower our food down, and more importantly, we lower this down now, so we're now doing 5 movements instead of 6. And we cross this out, and we're at day 4 now, so 4 days left, so we're going to have to watch ourselves now. Okay, so back to the top then. Let's roll a d6 to determine movement. 4. Okay, so we can make 1 turn. Okay, so she can make 1 turn. Now, I don't want to go too far out, because, again, we need to leave here. I believe this is where we need to leave, right? Like, one of these 2 anyway, one of these 3. Now, we're already filled in terrain, so we can continue looking. So, yeah, let's go back to the left this time. So, we can move 1 direction. And we can move 5. So, I'm going to say we're going to move 1, 2, 3, 4, and 5. Perfect. Okay, so we're on an empty terrain. So, let's roll a d8. For the terrain type. 7, which I know is mountains. Okay, so because there's only 2 tiles between here and here, I'm going to roll a d2 to determine this. Okay, so we get 2 mountain tiles here and here. Before this one as well, this class is a 2-mile radius as well, so this one we class as mountains. Okay, fell to the mountains. Now, that's the end of our turn. So, we're going to do a encounter check. So, 5 to 6 in encounter, the rest are not. We do get an encounter. Interesting. Okay, so here's what I'm going to do. I'm going to get 5 tools up, get the correct filters, and then we can randomize on what kind of monster we have. I'll see. Right, okay, so we're going to be generating the encounter now. So, like last time, I'm going to be using a website called Gasoon. and that's what's going to generate some encounter. No, if we go back to the one, there we go. So if we go back to the Paint 3D for a second, so we're on mountain terrain. So I'm going to try and match the encounters to the terrain. So for this, we can go down to any environment, and we have mountain. Perfect. And then what we're going to do is we're going to switch this to 1 because we're pilot level 1. And then we need to decide if we're going to go from easy, medium, hard, or deadly. That's what we did for the dolphins in episode 2. Alright, so let's roll a d4 to determine what difficulty this is. 1. Okay, that's not too bad. Okay, so we're going to roll easy. Perfect. Okay, so it's a rat. This should be simple to bypass, maybe. Okay, so... Okay then, right, so let me get the stat block for the rat, and I'll be a second. Right, okay, so we have a rat. So, just a reminder how the encounters go. Basically, the Pathfinder is a non-combative class. So, if they encounter any danger, basically, they have to run. So, the way we do this is in a 3-step kind of thing. So, first of all, we're going to do this. I'm going to go to our dice roller. And we're going to do one important thing first. Is this the monster layer? So 11 to 20 is yes, 1 to 10 is no. No, so it's not the monster layer, so it's just a wandering monster. Okay, so it's just a rat. Okay, so what we're going to do is this. We're going to roll another couple of d20s. And this is going to be a surprise round. Not a surprise round, but you're going to be surprised. So the question is Bassipam surprised? Yes, she's surprised. Now, is the rat surprised? Yes, they're both surprised. So, the way this would work is, in my rules anyway, if one person was surprised, because what we're going to do now is we're going to do a stealth versus perception, right? So, if one person was surprised and the other one wasn't, they would roll their perception check. So, for example, if Batty was surprised but the rat wasn't, Batty would have to roll her surprise check with disadvantage, where the rat would roll hers with advantage. You know, advantage, and vice versa, because basically, if Batty loses her stealth versus perception challenge, what would happen is she would have to move, as in the rat would be chasing her. So we would do a d6 and now determine which way we would go. And then the rat would pursue her and keep going until until the rat catches up with her. But if she beats the stealth check versus perception, she would stay exactly where she is, and then that'd be the end of the day. So this is going to be very, very deadly. I'll tell you in a second how bad it could be. So knowing that they're both surprised, it means that their rolls will be neutral. However, the rat has something called keen smell. The rat has advantage on wisdom perception checks that rely on smell. So I'm going to say that the rat... Do you know what? I'm going to say with this ability, the rat has advantage. So this should be fun. Alright, so let's roll the stealth check first. So the stealth check for Batty is a +2. So let's go a d20 +2. 7. Okay, so our stealth rolls 7. So now we have to roll the rat's perception check now. So the rat does not have a plus, just have a positive modifier. That's the word I'm looking for. So we'll go with disadvantage. So we'll go with advantage, just 2d20s, and the higher is the result. So we get 9. We get 10. So 10. So the rat smells her out and starts chasing her down. So now what we have to do is this. We have to roll a d6 to determine which direction she's going to go into. So let's do a d6. 1. Okay, so she's heading up north. Like so. Oh, no. There we go. So she heads up north 1. Alright. So basically she's been sent off, and she does not have the opportunity to search for water. So her water goes down, food goes down, and that's it, right? Yep. And then this becomes becomes 3. Okay, so now the rat's caught up to her, and she needs to run away again. So let's do another contested stealth and perception chance. So stealth roll +2. 9 again. Oh Jesus! All right, and then we'll go 2d20s for the rat. Okay. Oh, okay. Okay, that's amazing. So she manages to hide only just in the rat, loses her scent, it starts to scurry away, and it's no longer a problem. Interesting. Okay, that's good. That's good. So that means she's free to do her normal movement stuff. Okay, so let's have a bit of a think now. So she's uncovered 2 hunting grounds, here and here. So I think hunting grounds, I said it's going to be 50 experience. I don't know, I'll have to rewatch my episodes. It's been a while since I've came with any custom rules or anything. I'll have to remember that. But right. Well anyway, she's down to her 3rd day. So, do we get out, or do we have a look? Alright, I'll tell you what, let's roll our movement phase anyway, then we can decide. It'll be easier if we do that. So let's roll d6. 1. Okay, so we can only move in one straight line. We can move for 5. So let's have a look. So I'm thinking, I think we're gonna go. See, she can move for 5. So that's 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. And then if we get another successful roll, she can get out. Yeah, we're gonna do that. So let's go 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. So she's on the Arctic terrain. So does she get an encounter? 5 or 6 is an encounter. She doesn't get an encounter. Perfect. Does she find water? 1 or 2 is water. 3, she doesn't. Okay, no problem. So this goes down to here. And the food goes down as well. And then finally the other one is, does she find a point of interest? 10 is a reroll. Is 10 a reroll? 1 to 10? Yeah, 1 to 9 no, 10 is a reroll. 19 she does. Okay, so let's roll d6. 1 to 2 is a settlement. 3 to 4 is hunting grounds. 5 to 6 is a dungeon. She finds another hunting ground. Jesus. Well, I'll tell you something. Whoever party's going to come through here. Yeah. Whoever party's going to come through here is going to be very happy for supplies and stuff. I'm telling you. Can I get Bassy up? No, it's not. There we go. Okay then, right. So then that's the end of the day. So 3 becomes 2. We really need to get out now. Otherwise she's just going to succumb to madness. So it all depends on this next roll. To tell you the truth, actually no, to tell you the truth, any roll would work. Alright, so yeah. Let's roll our last d6. So 4. So we can move forward and take 1 turn. And I'm not going to do any of these like finish on the last bit of the movement or anything. Basically 1, 2, 3. That's just gone. Alright, perfect. So she's uncovered 4 different bits of terrain and 3 different hunting grounds. Not too bad. Not too bad for a first adventure, I'll tell you that much. So that was Batty Pam's first exploration into the northwest of the region. A bunch of mixed-matched terrain, but a lot of hunting grounds. Maybe a hunting party will find success and set up a hunter's camp to start trade into the region. Well, that's a story for another time. Next time We'll tune into Doran and see what's next for him. He's still on the job to take care of the Dolphin Monster Lair, and there's that militia tribes warrior he needs to watch for. Well, we'll see what happens next. I'll see you next time. Take care.